Come get some. Get ready, get ready, get ready. It's Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Cuso. So excited to be here. Rarely do we get a fifth hour of the show, but because there are 5 Wednesdays in the month, today is the fifth hour. Excited beyond measure about our guests today. You're going to, first of all, let me say to all of our radio listening audience, whether you're catching us live on my Facebook page, Let's Talk Business Facebook page, In Touch News, live in the studio, a special shout out to you. You can also tune in to In Touch News on YouTube. Those watching today at this moment, and for those that will catch the replay later, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for catching the show that will be all up in this organization's brand business today. We will ask the who, what, when, where, and why of this phenomenal organization. I don't want to delay this another moment. My acting co-host, Miss Grace Glenn, is here from Grace Community Medical Center. You will hear more about her. In addition to that, we have Dr. Dexter Frederick in the house. And let me just start with him because he will not be able to be with us for the entire hour of the show. Dr. Frederick, MD, is a highly respected, double board certified, yes, you heard me right, double board certified internal medicine and pediatric physician. He is committed to reducing health disparities by opening doors for underrepresented youth who aspire to become medical professionals. And that in itself is saying a lot. How is he going to go about doing all of this, you ask? He is currently the founder and CEO of Brain Expansions Scholastic Training, Inc. That's an acronym, BEST. And I know he's working to get the best out of our young medical professionals. It's a community-based initiative whose mission is to identify, inspire, develop, and educate with a focus on underrepresented and disadvantaged youth to address the national shortage of healthcare professionals that will impact underserved communities. He has a curriculum vitae that can just be a book in and of itself, but we will definitely hit on some of Dr. Frederick's highlights. Raised in the U.S. Virgin Islands, earned his undergraduate degree in respiratory care from Columbia Union College, his doctorate of medicine degree from Loma Linda School of Medicine in 1997. He completed his internal medicine and pediatrics residency in 2001. He was appointed to be the pediatric chief resident at Loma Linda University Pediatric Residency in 2001. He is also a diplomat of the American Board of Pediatrics and a fellow of the American College of Physicians. He has received numerous awards, and just to mention a few, as a result of his work, including Tampa Bay Lightning Community Hero. Now that's an award. Congratulations, especially when your hometown colleagues and cohorts can see what you do and they appreciate what you do and they put some muscle behind that award to help you do what you do in the community, as well as Tampa Police Citizens of the Year, Doctor of the Year, and nationally recognized by AARP as a 2022 Purpose Prize Fellow. He's received letters of commendation from the United States Representative Kathy Castor, from U.S. Senator Bill Nelson, from Tampa Mayor Pam Iorio, and all who have acknowledged his admirable work that he has so diligently given his life for in the community. And I love what he said about what it is that we do. When you're involved in the community and you're helping to impact the lives of others, Dr. Frederick says, it's your rent while you're here on this planet. So some of us need to start paying a little more rent. Welcome to the show, Dr. Frederick.
Thank you. Thank you. So good to be here, Cheryl, and the rest of my team and the rest of the students. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Seems like we have is there a delay?
Uh-oh, I was froze for a minute, but is he okay? Or is it on my end?
I'm good now.
Oh, great. We both are good. Where did the name BEST come from, or the acronym for the name?
Well, you know, in 2004, when we first got this going, I wanted to come up with a name that would exemplify excellence, and one that would exemplify transfer into the lives of our students, and make sure that they embrace that acronym. And memory and the brain and the thinking process was always an important part of what I envisioned and what made me better. So the brain had to be in there, you know. It's a scholarly program. But it's also students being in a training process so that they understand that just because you don't have it right now doesn't mean you will never get it. So with these all coming together, brain expansion, again, to expand your brain, and to make sure that we can take them from point A to point B and get them where they need to get. So BEST, again, we try to strive for what it represents and be the best in many areas.
I must ask you, and thank you so much. It better helps us and our radio listening audience. I know a little more because obviously I had to do my research on the organization. But let me ask you, because I started out in the healthcare industry and I was sharing with your students earlier, but that didn't come. I started out as a candy striper, so yes, that kind of got me as an early teenager. But I didn't hear more about being involved in healthcare until I got to high school. And we had a special program then called CHOPD, and that was Cooperative Health, Occupation, and Education, and something, but I had a phenomenal teacher. Her name was Mrs. Charlotte Dunn. At that time, there were only 2 African Americans in that particular class, but we stayed with it throughout our high school year. So when I first heard you were starting with the younger kids, that just warmed my heart, which takes me to my next question. Did you have mentors when you decided you wanted to go into learning the medical profession or learning about the medical profession, Dr. Frederick?
Well, yes and no. I will say that my journey, an early journey in the healthcare field, came as a result of an injury. As an athlete, I injured myself playing flag football at the age of 14, and that took me to. Yeah, it took me there, and I looking back, I'm kind of grateful for it in some ways, because what happened is that I met an amazing physician during my encounter. It was an African American physician in my hometown, and it was what an amazing experience. And I had the wow factor, like, wow, how can he figure out what's wrong with my knee with just a simple X-ray? Showing it off. So that just took me. So he was a mentor. I still speak to him, and I still let him know how thankful I am for him being the one taking care of me. So in terms of the mentor, but more important than a mentor, Cheryl, it's also having parents to kind of direct your focus into what skills and you have, you know. And my mom really saw that I had a love for people, number one, and also a love for science. And she placed me in that environment, for 4 summers, in my high school years. And in that environment, I was like in Disneyland. It was just an amazing experience. I loved it. Did not want to go home at the end of the day, and I found my home. And from there on, I kept at it.
You said that so perfectly. You found your home. Some would say you found your niche. Others would say you found your purpose with the guidance of parents and then having mentors. And I know my co-host, Dr. Davis, and that's what she does. She sits on the board for the YMCA youth, and they're always looking for ways to partner with parents and the youth and find their place in the community that can help them discover who they are. What you have done is amazing. I only wish we had something back in the day, that white jacket ceremony, and you get to tell us about it. But actually seeing that, watching the faces of the children as you all were draping them with the jackets, and we've got a couple of them here, so we'll get to hear what they have to say about it. But first off, Dr. Dexter Frederick, thank you to your parents and to your mentor for what you're doing in our community. And because I'm passionate about healthcare, it warms my heart again that you've taken the initiative. You know your purpose, and now you're making it possible for these young minds. You're impacting their brains. Absolutely. So that they will one day want to do what you're doing. And listen, and what Grace Glenn is doing. And this is a perfect time for us to pivot to her, because we need to find out, how did the two of you partner together and continue to work that you're doing today? Now, I'm going to do Grace a favor, because Grace does not like for us to do a lot of speaking about her. So I'm just going to let you know that she is well educated. She has a love for children, but she has an exceptional love for her little fairy people. Y'all figure that one out later. She looks into the community to see where there is a need. And because of her healthcare expertise in the medical profession, and when I say she has worked in all aspects of the medical profession, you can go all the way back down to her undergraduate as an entry-level position, all the way up to an administrator in multiple medical services. So just know that she is certified, qualified, and your children are in the best of hands. And I'm sure Dr. Frederick will agree to that. But let me take this opportunity to welcome Grace Glenn back to the show. This time my radio listening audience can see your face. Welcome, 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 Grace.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Frederick. Thank you, students, for being here. It's a pleasure and it's an honor. And I know that Dr. Frederick has to go pretty soon, but
yes.
He is a role model. He is a father. He is a husband.
Yes,
he is an amazing wife, amazing children. And because of his family, we can do the things that we do, because they make the sacrifices so that he can be with us when we're doing things in the community and when he's doing things with the students. And so, without his wife, without his daughters, this is not possible. This is not possible. And so I would be remiss not to say thank you publicly to his wife, Miss Lisa, for allowing him to spend time with us and to give us to share him with us, because, when he gives his time, he gives it totally 3,000%, and it is unconditional, that what he does. And so because of him, we have this moment. Lavette Jones, Samantha, we have,
you guys raise your hands as she's calling you out.
We have these students, and we have Rebecca, and even though we're focused on underrepresented minorities, we also work with white females, and we work with white males, and Asians, anyone who needs that help to get to that next level. And part of what we're doing is looking at holistically the whole body. We look at the diversity of bringing folks together, because Rebecca is going to work in family medicine in the minority community or whatever community she's going to be in, she's at some point she might see a minority patient. And so by her spending time with us, she get to understand our community. She get to see the needs for our community. And everything that we do is about full representation. It's about trying to make a difference. And so these students are here because of the love they have for healthcare, the love they have for the community. I met Miss Jones through Career Source. I met Sunita, and I call her Sam. I met Sam through, of course, when she came into the program. And Rebecca, I met Rebecca because my primary care physician, Dr. Benaz, who also helps to work with the students, introduced her to us, to the organization, and we can't get rid of her. She just stays. Okay, she just comes and she just does all these things. You know, she can put things on the wall. She can do social media. You know, she's at events. And so it is a blessing to be a part of the organization. But, you know, I'm going to be quiet so that the students can tell you about their journey, their history, what they've gotten from the program, where they want to go, and how they see themselves, you know, fulfilling their dreams and their desires. And the reason we've chosen the students that we've chosen today is that Sam is currently at Morehouse School of Medicine. Rebecca is applying for medical school. She's actually studying for the MCAT, so she actually took some time off today to come hang out with us. And Miss Jones is about to graduate from high school. So we have the mix that can show you and tell you what we're doing and how we're impacting their lives. So ladies, you can decide who's going to go first. Lavette is sitting there saying, you know, I want to go first. So Miss Jones, I'll let you go first. How about
let Miss Jones go first.
Okay, hi, my name is Lavette Jones, and as Miss Grace said, I found out about BEST through Career Source. I started as a summer hire through Career Source, and I just absolutely fell in love with everything that BEST has to offer. Before I found out about BEST, all I knew was that I wanted to become a doctor in the future, and BEST has really helped me streamline my pathway to becoming what I've always wanted to become. Before BEST, I just really didn't have a sense of direction. All I had was my plan, but I didn't have a way to execute that plan. And so because I've connected with BEST, I am so much more confident about what the future holds for me. And I know that I can become the cardiothoracic surgeon that I want to be because of BEST.
That's awesome, Lavette, cardiothoracic surgeon. That is phenomenal. Dr. Frederick, how does that make you feel hearing Lavette share with you? Just trying to find direction, didn't know where she was going until she met the foundation.
Well, I think the thing that comes to me is the vision and the mission has been accomplished. You know, it fills my heart with pride to know that, you know, we talk about, you know, when the Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. And I feel that the vision that I had many years ago, it's been realized through Lavette, through Rebecca, through Sunithia, and it propels us as an organization to do more work, to do better work, and to get more Lavettes, give them some direction. So I am filled with pride, and we're not going to stop until she gets that MD.
I love it. And Lavette, to know that you have that support, not just at the beginning, but all throughout the duration of your medical educational pursuits. I know we're going to have to let Dr. Frederick leave shortly, but let me go ahead before we get to Rebecca, you and Sam, and thank you for giving us the permission, Samithia, to call you Sam. Dr. Frederick, please tell us what it is that we, the community, can do. How can we further support the BEST organization, and what is your need right now?
Well, we're an organization that's grown and is growing, and part of what Grace has done is impacted our community in a very special way. I know she'll be talking later about the event that we will be having, but first of all, I would love the community to just be interested in who we are and all that we do, and go to our website. You know, I recently wrote a book and that book basically tells my story plus the story of Beth and how you can be part of that journey with us. So just be interested and be part of that and come out to the event next week. Would mean so much to us. And then of course, you know, in order for organizations to grow, it needs support with personnel. It needs support, financial support. And anyone out there that has the gift of philanthropy or would love to support us, we will always appreciate a call. There are scholarships that can be had so that individuals like Lovette, once she goes to college or needs to take tests for the exams, we can defer those costs. So, but we are always looking for new talent. Share the word at your churches, at your schools, for students who have that passion, like I did many years ago, and direct them to us so we can guide them and be partners in their journey. So, thank you,
awesome.
Cheryl.
And so, are you available? Are you available? Are you and Miss Grace to come and speak to churches and schools as a part of your recruitment program?
Absolutely. So we have a big team. We have about 10 individuals that can go out there and speak about what we do. So if I can't do it, Grace can do it. Our students are our biggest mouthpiece. However,
yes,
they're the ones that can tell the story. So, but we are always ready to be available to share the message. Yes.
And I would not be a good host if I just allowed you to make such a statement about your book. I just happen to know that your book is flatlining. Love the term. Reviving the heartbeat of diversity in medicine. Will your book be at the event that Grace is going to talk about on the second half of the show?
I will be there. And my book will be there for me to discuss, but I have another book signing that will be happening that we can make an official invitation. Yes.
Oh, you heard it right here on Let's Talk Business with SJC. So thankful, so proud of you. You guys heard it to our radio listening audience. We'll talk more about the date and the time and how you can come out and support. It's actually a family event. Your family members, and for those who have family members and you know that child is special, you know that they've been drawn to science and health and math and perhaps the medical field, here's a great opportunity for them to come out and have a conversation with these amazing students. Well, if there's something else you need to say, Dr. Frederick, let us know, and if not, we're going to go on and hear from Rebecca.
Hi, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yes, it's our pleasure. How are you drawn to this organization?
So I kind of showed up last summer, like Grace said. My primary care doctor is her primary care doctor, and after speaking and letting her know my plans, she kind of linked us up, which was great. Unlike a lot of the other students, we joke I'm the old lady in the room because I'm an Air Force veteran, so I served 6 years before realizing I wanted to separate and come back and go to school. So I'm kind of doing things a little out of order from everybody else because I'm married and I have a daughter, and my life is a little bit more hectic than some of the students. So Grace and Dr. Frederick have just been so great at allowing me to kind of just find my role and fill in and learn from the different physicians and learn how I can apply that to different communities, like the veteran community that I'd really like to work with one day. And they've just been teaching me so much, not just about clinical stuff, which was awesome, this is what I came for, but goodness, I've learned so much in terms of grant writing and how to run clinics and how to work and how to recruit and how to teach people and how to educate patients. Grace has taught me so much about how to teach patients to take care of themselves and teach them what they need versus just, giving treatment. And it's been so eye-opening and teaching me so much that I'm going to use going forward.
You sound like the perfect poster child for this program. Oh my gosh. First of all, thank you for your service, Rebecca, and the fact that you want to now pivot in another stage of your life and come back and do more, especially in the medical field. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm excited to hear next from Sam. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here.
Now tell us, how did you get connected to the program?
Yeah, of course. So So I was introduced to the program a while ago, back when I was in high school. So this was like, honestly, maybe like 8 years ago. I joined the program when I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. It was the same thing. I'd heard about the program, I think through like some clubs at my high school, and seemed interesting. So I reached out and I joined the Best Summer program that summer. And let me say, that was definitely like a very life-changing summer, because of Dr. Frederick and the summer program. We were just exposed to so many things that normal high school students wouldn't be exposed to. Like, I remember he took us into the anatomy lab at USF. Like, we got to see real life cadavers, like at that age, that like the medical students and people used. So that was a really cool experience. Like, we got to hold like a heart, hold a brain in our hands, look at it. And then we also were exposed to a lot of like different volunteering and shadowing opportunities, at USF, like at the VA, at other hospitals around this area. And so all of that exposure really helped me decide, like, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. Like, I love doing this. And so it was a great first stepping stone into my career. I went to USF for undergrad, did my bachelor's degree in biomedical sciences. And even after I left, even after I'd completed the summer program with BEST, it wasn't like it was done, like that part of my life is over, now I'm moving on. Like, the BEST program kind of moved with me throughout my career. So even when I was in undergrad, I was still in contact with Dr. Frederick and the BEST program and still volunteering with them. When it came time for medical school applications, Dr. Frederick wrote me a recommendation letter because he'd known me for all of these years. And it was really nice just having that support from Dr. Frederick and the BEST program going through my career. And not just Dr. Frederick, like I had friends that I had met in this program, and it was kind of like a group of us that like moved through undergrad together, like went through the medical school process together. So the sense of community that I got from the BEST program and the support was also extremely helpful and very nice. And yeah, I made it to med school. I went to Morehouse School of Medicine, and honestly, I think the BEST program also had an influence in my choices for medical school, where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to a place that emphasized like community service, diversity, focusing on like primary care. And I think a lot of that also came from the BEST program. Like, I wanted to carry forward that mission. And it's kind of what I want to do as a physician as well in my career. So I'm applying for internal medicine. I'm going to be a internal medicine doctor. And hopefully just following in Dr. Frederick's footsteps.
Oh,
and
amazing.
Yeah, like,
oh,
yeah.
Sam, I can see the smile on Dr. Frederick's face when you said that, following his footsteps, internal medicine. And I am so excited because as I listen to you call out to some of the sponsors, USF, we are pleased because I see, Dr. Frederick, that you have the BEST program in Moffitt, and that's one of our not, then we'll do it now. Let me hear your final thoughts, and we'll talk more about some of the other programs with Grace Glenn. Dr. Frederick?
Yes. So so we are very blessed to have some great spokespersons with Sam, with Lavette, and Rebecca. You are the reason why we started BEST, and you make us so proud. And Grace, you are the reason why BEST continues to flourish. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the organization. And we are so grateful for our partners in the community, like you said, Cheryl, Advent Health, USF Medical and Nursing School, Simply Health, Moffitt, and we're quite a number of others. So we are thankful, and I'm just grateful to know you, meeting you for the first time.
Pleasure.
And I appreciate you letting us spread the word, and we will continue to do the work that and continue to pay the rent, like you said.
All right,
continue to pay the rent.
There you go. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. You will come back and join us some point in the future with Dr. Shanae Davis, so we can talk more about the medical aspect of what it is that you're doing. So listen, we will be back in a moment. So please, you can take off your videos and as well mute your mics. Back in a minute.
Cancer affects everyone, but minority populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep some groups from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
While cancer treatment is evolving with precision medicine, who is being left behind? We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I have worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
Strong, beautiful women take charge of their lives, and it starts with learning the facts. Did you know that most women diagnosed with breast cancer have no known risk factors or family history, and it's more deadly for Black women than any other race or ethnic group? But it doesn't have to be. If you're over 40, regardless of your race or ethnicity, you need to get a mammogram every year. Early detection saves lives. Talk with your doctor about the best screening plan for a strong, beautiful you.
Champions don't quit, but there's one kind of quitter I admire: former smokers. If you're over 55 and still smoking, or even if you quit years ago, talk with your doctor about lung cancer screening, even if you have no symptoms. It's quick and painless. Lung cancer is the nation's most deadly cancer, but screening can better the odds. Ask your doctor if it's right for you. Together, we can be champions over cancer.
Okay, and we are back. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Business with SJC. It is the 5th hour of our show, and we have heard from our phenomenal guest, and that of Dr. Dexter Frederick, the founder of the Best BEST program, to have listened to these amazing students. So we're going to hear more from them, and as well, the person that they have credited in helping to partner them with the best organization, and that's Grace Glenn. So thank you to those who are taking your lunch break to be a part of us, and please like and share, because we want so many students to hear about what these 3 who are representing the program today have already shared with us. First off, I was thinking it started in middle school, but what's the requirement for a student, Grace?
Well, the requirement for a student is really just expressing and designing interest to become a healthcare professional. And, you know, when we met Miss Jones, for example, Miss Jones applied as part of the Career Source summer employment. And so those students were 16 to 24. Okay. Rebecca was just referred to me by my physician, because she knows that we're always getting students who want to become healthcare professionals. And with Rebecca's case, Rebecca is not a traditional student. Rebecca is a non-traditional student. And so we wanted to make sure that she has the avenue, her needs are met, so that she doesn't feel as if, okay, well, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm not going to be able to accomplish my dreams. And so regardless of age, regardless of color, we're inclusive, we're diverse, and she's human, and she's a part of us. She's a part of me. You know, I love Rebecca. She drives me crazy, but I love Rebecca. You know, I'll tell you that, you know, because she gets into my head and she helps me bring my thoughts out. She helped me know that this is something that we're doing, and we can do it this way. I don't have to go A, B, C. I can go to A, I can go to D, and I can come back to B, and we can still get it done. So I love them all. And you know, Sam has a younger sister who spends a lot of time with us, and her name is Sosmita. And Sosmita is extremely, I mean, she's going to become a physician also. She just did a piece for us called Diabetes and, you know, Diabetes and the Eye. And it was just such an amazing piece that she did. that when she completed the project, we actually sent it to the state of Florida as part of some of the programs that we're doing. But Michelle, before we continue though, I want to introduce you to somebody that's on here, Mr. Eddie Green.
Yes, welcome to the show, Eddie.
I appreciate being part of the program.
I figured you were here because you play a pivotal role.
Oh, yes.
You have some information to share with us.
Yes, well, I appreciate it.
Mr. Green is a tremendous part of what we're doing here in terms of the Grace Community Medical Center. He made it happen. You know, I had a vision that we want to do a community medical center, a free center where the community can have access to care, because one of the biggest things that we have issues with is access to care in the minority community. And it could be access to care because of a lack of transportation, lack of education, lack of whatever it is. And so we wanted to make sure that we can give back to our community. But it's not just the health facility. Mr. Green has a vision about other things. And I wanted him to be here today to talk about those visions, because he has a passion for the youth in the neighborhood. And so we want to bring those students into the BEST program. We want the community to come into the medical center because it's here for them. It is for them. It is not for me. It is not for, you know, any one person. St. John's Cathedral has been a tremendous partner. I cannot begin to tell you how grateful I am, the gratitude, the compassion that I have for them, the feeling of love and care, because we wanted to name it St. John's Community Center, but there's another St. John's Clinic, so we couldn't do that, because if you have lab reports, it goes the wrong place, it could cause a situation. So it's named Grace, not for me. Grace stands for God remembering all citizens everywhere. God remembering all citizens everywhere. And that is in the mission and the vision of St. John's, because St. John's, they speak to the heart, they speak to the mind, they take you as a person and you become part of their family. It's that biblical teaching that they embrace. And so they've embraced what we want to do. And so I've embraced what they want to do. And so to have Mr. Green here today, it's an honor for me, sir. It's a tribute for me, to these students, to what you mean to me, what you mean for the community. And I want you to tell the community, Ms. Cheryl, the students, anybody who's listening, what your vision is for St. John's and the community.
All right, Mr. Green, you have the mic.
Okay, I appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, very good. What we're looking at doing at St. John Cathedral in Tampa is opening up to the community, because one of the things that we noticed during the COVID, a lot of the churches closed down. But what we saw was that the churches really had to really get back into the community during the COVID and do the work of the Lord. So we had to put aside the fear of the COVID and reach out back to the community. That is one of the reasons why we opened the clinic. We began to do funerals for the community, because we saw that was a need in the community. So we couldn't close the church to the community, and that's what we're continuing to do now, is make ourselves available to the community through the clinic and through other avenues that we have. A food program, we have the funeral program, and then we actually open the church on Sundays such that people could come back and once again worship.
Wait, you say you have a funeral program?
Yes, what we did was we actually opened the church to anyone in the community that had to do a funeral, because a lot of the churches were closed and were not doing funerals. So we opened the church in order to do funerals for the community. And one of the best things we've done, because you've heard of the recent shootings in the community.
Yes.
Well, we actually provided the funeral services to those families in the community. Even though it was gang related, we still opened the church, had all those people there for 3 gang related funerals, and we did it at the church. So I'm very proud of the St. John Cathedral family and what they are doing in the community.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Green. That's really how you impact a community. Meet them at their point of need And it sounds like collectively and in collaboration with so many others, that's exactly what you all are doing. Now, I'm looking at Rebecca and Levette, and possibly you too, Sam. Are you all physically in the clinic?
Yes, we're all here.
Awesome.
We're here.
Well, listen, we can see you, but tell us exactly where the clinic is. How
We're
about you tell us,
located.
Rebecca?
Okay, Rebecca, go ahead.
Where's the
Admittedly, I
clinic
can give you an
located?
address, but Grace is going to be much better at providing a description.
Let's pivot quickly to Grace. Where is the clinic?
Clinic is at 3222 North 34th Street. It is located next to the Open Cafe, which is across from St. John's Cathedral. It is a family business, a family entity. So we're right there next to each other. We're right next to Noah Community Outreach. We're next to the Open Cafe and across from St. John's Cathedral. So that's where we are. We're here 4 or 5 days a week. And if somebody needs us after hours, they just have to make an appointment and the provider will see them. One of the things that we started to do is that we will go to them. We'll go to our patients. If somebody comes who needs something, they don't have transportation, we will go to them. But we also have to keep in mind safety. We'll keep in mind safety because we're female providers. So we don't want to have just a female going into a home that has 3 men into that home. So no, as much as we are going to support the community, we still have to take care of ourselves, because if we don't take care of ourselves, we cannot take care of the community. Okay, so that's something that is
poignantly said. But you got Mr. Green here, and he's going to make sure that you all are all safe. But let me take this opportunity to give a shout out to Mrs. and I call her Willie Florence because we go way back. Mrs. Willie Florence.
Okay, you know.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
let me take this opportunity to say a shout out to the Open Cafe, Mrs. Willie Florence Gaynor, who connected the two of us together. Yes, and I was saying earlier, I met Grace so many years ago, but just to be able to now have us come back together and see how we can help in putting the event on. We heard a little bit with Rebecca's unique story, and I'm so proud of the three of you and all of you. The fact that even though, especially you, Sam, you've left and you've come back and you're still volunteering and you're still working. They just can't get rid of you. Did we lose Sam? Go ahead, Sam. You can share.
Yeah, I'm here. No, they're not going to get rid of me. I think Best is just, they're like a, so it's just a group of people who I always know are going to be there, who whenever I have questions, like throughout my medical journey, like they're always going to be there.
Awesome. Look, listen, will all of you be at the event at the end of next month? Because I'm looking forward to personally meeting each and every one of you. I'm seeing some head nods. Okay, all right. Mr. Eddie Green will definitely be there. So now let's talk about May is National Minority Health Awareness Month. And we're bringing you guys on today because we wanted to make sure that we used our portal to help push out the notification of your event. It is going to be fabulous. I have seen the lineup. I have seen the sponsors, and they are coming from all over, from churches to medical entities to business owners. I'll let Grace Glenn tell us what to expect. Tell us about the 2 locations, which is primarily 1, but 2 locations,
right?
And what you need the community to do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Grace
Thank you
Glenn?
so much. Thank you so much. The on April 9th, we'll be having a health and job fair. And we're going to start from 9:30 until 1:30. And during the health fair, we have entities such as USF, University of South Florida College of Nursing, their medical students. We have University of Tampa School of Nursing. We have Moffitt Cancer Center. We have Advent Health. We have the Sheriff Department. We have Novo Nordisk. They're a pharmaceutical company. They do insulin. About 50% of the population use their insulin. So they're going to be here. And the City of Tampa, East Tampa CRA, they will also be here. It will have physicians here. We'll have APRNs here. And so the goal is to reach out to the community and ask them, come on out, spend some time with us. We have information about jobs, because it's not just a health fair, it is also a job fair. We want to see jobs in the 33605 zip code. It's April, as you said, is National Minority Health Month. The theme this year is get up and go, is active, it's to be active. And so we want to make sure that our community, anyone who lives within the area, it doesn't matter where you are, come out, spend some time with us. Simply Health, one of our sponsors, will also be here, and they're providing 100 food bags. So we're hoping to have 100 food bags for the first 100 folks. We're giving away some blood pressure cuffs. We're giving away some glucometer machines. We're going to do some pedometers, because if we take one more step today than we did yesterday, it's going to help with our heart. It's going to help with our blood sugar. So we want to make sure that those who come out understand this. We're doing education about your body mass index, height, weight, age, how these things relate. We're doing information about your blood sugar level. We're doing information about cholesterol. So we're going to do hands-on that particular day. So you will leave knowing what your cholesterol level is. Now, we're not saying that, we have all the answers, but we're going to do as much as we can and then send you off to your primary care physician if you have one, so that you can get follow-up. You don't have one, come see us at the medical center. We'll take care of you, and then we'll send you where you need to go after that. So it's an event that we're hoping the community comes out and support. Commissioner Myers wanted to be here for that day, but something came up, so she's not able to make it again. We've invited Mayor Jane Castor. She has not yet confirmed, but she's been here a couple of times. The commissioner has been here a couple of times, because when we partnered with St. John's and did over 800 vaccinations, we did 3 sets of vaccinations. In March, we did about 300 plus. In April, for the second dose, we did 200 plus, and then we did a booster in October. So it's a community event. We believe in the community. We're a family, and we carry each other. We carry each other. That is the best way I can say, is that we really carry each other, because we're not always going to be 100% every day. But when you have a team such as these folks, we have Morgan, we have Miss Powell, we have Susan, we have Dr. Benaz, we have Dr. Frederick, we have so many people who are just there for us and just listening. It's a blessing. And on Wednesday of next week, as a matter of fact, we're doing something with Advent Health, where we're going to do a series of information where we get folks to understand how to live and eat better. And they're going to provide a voucher, a $10 voucher. So at the end of that 1 hour for the next 6 weeks, they get to shop at a produce truck for fresh produce. So it's about giving back to the community. It's about trying to help us to eat and live better. So all of this is possible because of St. John's, because of the students, and also because of the State of Florida Department of Health, because there's a thing called CTG, and I'm sure you're probably aware of this. It's called Closing the Gap. And their goal is to close the gap of the disparities in healthcare. And so we're a part of that. We work that. We go into different churches in different neighborhoods, and we check A1C, we check glucose, and we do workshops on a monthly basis to help educate folks how to eat differently, how to shop differently, how to read food labels, do cooking demonstrations. So it's just this last Sunday, we were at Mount Calvary Seventh-day Adventist Church, and we had about 20 individuals that came up to our tables, and we did all the A1Cs, the cholesterol, the blood pressure for them, and it was a wonderful event. Sorry, Morgan was there. So it's just, we do this because we love the community, because we love each other, because without the community, we don't survive. And
it shows, Grace. I need you to pivot a little more to the center. Looks like you're trying to escape out of the room here. But I wanted, Ricky, if we could show, we have some pictures of the best program, some of the graduates, one of the graduations with Mayor Jane Castor there. And Ricky, if you would either do the video and we'll show the pictures, and we'll let Ms. Glenn talk to us about what's going on. So y'all just hold tight for just a moment. Well, I tell you what, while Ricky is getting the pictures and the script ready, I wanted to ask, kind of give us a setup. So are we going to be outside of the church in the parking lot? Because you guys are connected across. Oh, there it is. He's there. So we're doing pictures or video, Ricky? Look like we're starting with pictures. So what are we looking at?
This was at Dunbar Elementary. If I can see it properly.
Yes.
I think it's Dunbar Elementary. We have a 5th grade program over at Dunbar Elementary. Dunbar is an elementary school, and these are students who, and it's a magnet school, it's a medical magnet school, and these are students who want to become healthcare professionals. And so there's Mayor Jane Castor.
Oh,
so
look at that.
We're giving them their white coat. When you're in med school, one of the first things that happens in med school is that the orientation time, they give you your white coat. So you have a white coat ceremony, and that is a tremendous honor to have your white coat put on. I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about that, because once they put that on you, this is Dr. Frederick, I think Dr. Commodore, who's a retired OBGYN, who's also an attorney, but he's also the head of Reliance Network. And he's been here and he wants to do some work with us. So working with Dunbar, we're going to go from Dunbar to Sly and then to Tampa Bay Tech. And one of the things we're trying to do is to put labs in schools. And we had an event in Wesley Chapel on the 19th and the 18th and 19th of March. And I invited Bristol Myers Squibb, invited United Healthcare.
Ooh.
And so these are folks, and they're also going to be at the Job and Health Fair on the 9th of April.
Well,
and
you got some heavy hitters. Not to cut you off, but you got some heavy hitters. But the video is ready. Let's take a clip. Okay. Let's take a look at this clip. Ricky?
Hey, Mayor Jane here. We are at Dunbar Elementary School, and they are getting their white coats today. This is a medical magnet school. Thanks to Dr. Frederick and all the volunteers, medical students that come out and help them, they received their white coats today. When you put that white coat on today, you find your passion in life and you become the future of this community. You become the doctors, you become the researchers, you become the nurses. You are the ones that are going to take this city to the next level of greatness. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish. God bless. Believe in my dreams. Believe in my dreams.
That was phenomenal. And you get cheers just looking at that and seeing our young people. It is so moving. They can find that video on Best Facebook channel. So please, to our radio listening audience, like, share, help us to disseminate this information out to the community. So when the event comes up on Saturday, April 10th?
April 9th, ma'am.
April 9th. Oh, that my pastor's anniversary is April 10th. So that's why that date is stuck in my head. But April 9th. So thank you to the Open Cafe for helping to make this connection with us. Thank you to St. John Cathedral. Thank you to Mr. Green. We're looking forward to seeing greater things. To you, Rebecca and Sam and Lavette. I'm so appreciative to have had you on our show. And wait, let's see, who wrote the diabetes specialist report? Because I definitely want you to share that with my co-host, Dr. Sinead Davis, who, by the way, went live on our show to share with our guests. She's a diabetes specialist and just learned 2 months ago that she's a diabetic. And she wanted to bring that information to the forefront. So I want her to read your report as well. As we get close to our final minutes for closing the show, again, my personal thank you to all of you. A super, super thank you to Dr. Frederick, because I know he had to leave to go and see patients. Dr. Davis was trying to pull away in between her patients, but you know how that is. These healthcare professionals are so dedicated to what they do, but they still try to carve out a little bit of time to be able to collaborate with us on specific projects. Now, Grace, I saw the lineup of sponsors. I don't know. Do you have room for vendors? Do you need more sponsors? Do you need volunteers? Or have you maxed out?
We always have room for volunteers and for sponsors. We will make room. We will make room. Whatever we need to do, we'll make room. So if there's a sponsor, a volunteer, a vendor who wants to come out and help, please come and please bring a community member with you. So if each person bring one person, we'll be able to reach more folks. But there's one thing I really want to add before we leave, Ms. Cheryl.
Yes.
Mr. Green is an engineer by trade, and STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so one of the things that we're doing is that we want to, so this is why it's such a great partnership, because Mr. Green's vision is also to bring education into this neighborhood, into this community. So he's here for that reason also. He's here because of his love for the community, but for the teenagers, for the children in this area, we want him and him to get to know them to get to know him. And Levette's brother, he's mentoring Levette's brother who wants to be an engineer. So I really wanted to bring that out because this is a great partnership and a great marriage. But folks, come out and support us on April 9th, please. Thank you so much.
And I'm so glad you shared that information about Mr. Green. And Mr. Green, you may know of her. We will not let it go unnoticed that this month, although we're at the end of the month, we celebrate National Women's History. We like to say National Women's Her Story Month. And one of she's just become a phenomenal hero to me, started with, you want to say maybe one of the first Black STEM recipients in the NASA program, and that's Dr. Gladys West. I like to call her the fourth hidden figure, because here she was in the winter of her life, 89, 90, writing a book. It all began with a dream, and it took years for the military, the Naval Academy, to recognize her as being one of the problem solvers in creating the GPS today.
Wow.
And so we did a program with her because that's what she wants to do, even now with her book. Put that book in all of the schools, and we're hoping we can put the book in your clinic as well, because that's what she wants to do, to help our children understand the importance of science and math and arithmetic. It's just, that'd be second nature to you. And for that, Dr. Gladys B. West, eternally grateful to her, and to you for Women's telling her story, to you, Grace Glenn, we thank you. And to these three phenomenal women, your stories are just beginning, but we look forward to hearing more about you, as Mayor Jane Castor said, in the very, very near future. Give us the date again, give us the address. You need volunteers. You are still accepting vendors and sponsorship. It takes a lot of capital,
yes,
as a coordinator myself, to put on events like this. Yes. So help is still needed. It's not too late. Final thoughts.
Not too late. April 9th, 2022, St. John's Cathedral, 3401 East 25th Avenue and 3222 North 34th Street, next to the Open Cafe. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Come out and see us. National Minority Health Month. Let us celebrate together, and let us move the needle forward for our community. Thank you so very much. It
sounds like you have all four corners of that one block.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And so do the vendors have to bring tents, or you already have tents provided?
If they have tents, they can bring their own tents, but we'll get tents. They bring their own tablecloths. We have tables already set up. We're going to do the setup next Wednesday.
Bring your own tablecloths. Go online, go to the website, find out what that cost is, and go ahead and get yourself registered. Individuals can register, or the community can just come out.
The community just come on up. Just come out. Just come out.
Be one of the first 100 so that you can get a food bag. And if you just get 200, just walk on across the street to the Open Cafe.
There you go. Thank you so much.
I promise you, one of my best dinners are the turkey legs over there, and they will take expert care of you. Again, thank you so much for spending your hour with us today. It's one that I shall never forget. Being so passionate, my undergraduate is healthcare. I know the importance of it, and still today trying to do what it is that we need to do. Cardiovascular surgeon, my goodness. Internal medicine, diabetes specialist. This is the next generation. Who's going to give me the motto as we close out? What's the best motto?
we're going to move the needle forward. We're moving the needle forward, and best brain expansion scholastic training, Grace Community Medical Center, so we can make a difference in the community, not just today, but forever.
And this show is moving the needle forward in support of BEST, in support of Grace Community Medical Center. To all of you, thank you. Like, share, repost, replay. But this show is a wrap. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.